Marama Fox.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. I think, and I agree with the last member, that companies who do mete out harm and destruction and death on people who buy their products should be worried. Mr Speaker, as I was preparing for the second reading, I came across these words, and if I might, I'm going to quote them from the late Dame Whina Cooper. Take care of our children. Take care of what they hear. Take care of what they see. Take care of what they feel, for how the children grow, so will the shape of Aotearoa. This woman, in her 80th year, gathered 60,000 signatures and led a hikoi of 1,000 miles from Te Hapua in the far north to Parliament. Te Ropu Matakite, those with the foresight, was launched at a hui at Māngere Marae in early 1975 in response to the relentless alienation of Māori land. The diminutive dame believed it was time to unite Māori across iwi boundaries under the banner of Not One More Acre. Her hikoi encompassed overnight stays at 25 marae, each one mobilising conversation and sparking commitment to the cause. Take care of our children. But what does that mean? 40 years on from the Land March, we are still marching. We are marching for our mukapuna, marching for them to survive another day. This bill, the Smoke-Free Environments Tobacco Plain Packaging Amendment Bill, continues that hikoi for a different kaupapa, in a different setting, but in the same vein as all the other marches that took place earlier this week. And I have that same passion and energy for this bill as I do for any cause which robs our people of land and life, which erodes our spirit, which destroys our capacity to be strong, healthy and alive. Just to be perfectly clear, there is no safe level of tobacco use. Tobacco use causes many types of cancer, including cancer of the lung, larynx, mouth, esophagus, throat, bladder, kidney, liver, stomach, pancreas, colon, rectum and cervix, as well as acute leukemia. Tobacco use is the leading cause of cancer and of death from cancer. People exposed to secondhand smoke have an increased risk of cancer through access to the many chemicals that damage our very DNA. Tobacco smoke contains many chemicals that are harmful to both the smokers and non-smokers. Breathing even a little tobacco smoke can be harmful. Among the 215 known harmful chemicals in tobacco smoke, at least 69 can cause cancer. So I come back to the kōrero. Take care of our children. My most significant qualification for this debate is that I am a mother of 9 children and the most exquisite mokapuna you will ever see on the face of the earth. What we all know is that smoking has been found to harm nearly every bodily organ and to diminish a person's overall health. Mr. Speaker, I may have overstepped when I personally attacked an industry baron who came to our shores to promote the use of tobacco. It was a diminishing conversation, and I have apologised to those New Zealanders who took offence from my words, such as a peddler of death or a corporate executioner. I was angry, and I take full responsibility for my words and the way that I spoke. But over the last week, I have reflected on the reasons for that anger, and it never strays far from home. Take care of our children. A study last year by Dr. Rob Young, Associate Professor of Medicine and Molecular Genetics at Auckland University, set it out in stark clarity. And again, I quote, lung cancer in Māori is characterised by earlier age of diagnosis, 6 to 8 years younger, despite comparable smoking exposure. More aggressive cancer, histology, and greater susceptibility to the effects of smoking. 2-fold greater mortality. This bill is one more step to give effect to Dame Tariana's vision of a smoke-free Aotearoa 2025. It is one more step to support an education campaign to increase our efforts to increase quit rates and be mindful of the risks of lung cancer. Because if there is one thing I know, it is that people who quit smoking, regardless of their age, have substantial gains in life expectancy compared with those who continue to smoke. Mr. Speaker, if we do not listen to our own successive ministers of health, select committees, professors of medical science and environmental health, dames, advocates, Māori activists, economists, doctors and nurses, perhaps we will then listen to international experts. Over the last decade, headlines in the International Medical Journal of the Lancet have been consistently compelling. And here they are. This is what those international headlines have said. Māori have the highest rate of lung cancer of all the populations in the 4 high-income countries studied. Tobacco control in New Zealand has failed Māori. The country needs Māori to lend a new approach to cutting smoking rates. Māori are treated differently in the health system, and there, Mr. Speaker, I implore the Minister to ensure that Māori are at the heart of Auahi Kore initiatives. Take care of what they hear. Take care of what they see. Take care of what they feel. In the Select Committee commentary, the advice is to be straight up in our use of language, to introduce the wording quit smoking, have quit smoking. It is a move I totally support. We must speak the way the people speak so everyone understands. The committee also recommends that the cultural effects of smoking be included within the context for introducing plain packaging. I cannot help but think of greater cultural framework into which this whole debate was kicked off. Smoking had not been a part of the Māori way of life. The first Pākehā to be seen smoking a pipe was Captain Cook. Not much later on, sealers, whalers, traders and settlers, they would trade with tobacco and pipes as a form of koha and as a form of currency to purchase land. By the end of the 1840s, the use of tobacco by Māori was widespread among adults and not unknown among children. Mr. Speaker, it comes back to the land, the whenua, the people, tangata whenua, and most of all it comes back to our children and our mokopuna. 15 years ago, one of our founding co-leaders was the champion featured on posters of widespread campaign, It's About whānau, to promote smoking cessation. Last year, the other founding co-leader, Dame Tariana Turia, was presented with the Luther L. Terry Award for exemplary leadership in the tobacco control at an international conference in Abu Dhabi. The American Cancer Society selected Mrs. Turia for her enduring commitment to the health of all New Zealanders and tireless pursuit of smoke-free Aotearoa by 2025. Today, our pursuit of the Smoke-Free Environment's Tobacco Plain Packaging Amendment Bill follows in their steps, follows in the steps of many others before us, and most of all sets out to create new footprints for a world free of tobacco harm. The true face of smoking is disease, death and horror, not the glamour and sophistication the peddlers of the industry try to push. Tobacco control measures that eliminate smoking altogether will be the only effective way of reducing disparities. We stand in absolute support of this bill, in rejection of the tragedy that smoking has inflicted and continues to inflict on Māori, but most of all, to preserve our slice of paradise for our children. For how the children grow, so will the shape of Aotearoa.
Porter Williams.